our beloved Ben Dowling, who is on our meditation music this morning. We are truly blessed. Thank you so much, Ben. John Hart in the house on bass today. Josh Sclair on guitar. Curtis Bird on drums. We got a heavies in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Agape. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. We are so glad that you are here with us this morning. We're celebrating life divine. We are celebrating the truth that is within each and every one of us. And just knowing this presence of God that has got our back and is who and what we are. So I'm so grateful that we get to do this in this wonderful community of Agape. I'm Marianne Lewis, Music and Arts Director here. And it's a pleasure to welcome you. We've got Tertullian Thomas in the house with us today. Hey, yeah. Gia Jambati, right up there in the house. Okay. Bijan Owens in the house. Yeah. All right, and we have you. So all is good. Let us sing together. You guys ready to sing? We got to be singing. We got to raise our vibration. Keep it high in these times. That's right. So right where you are, stand up. Get your groove on for the Spirit of God. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on the Spirit. Stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind on the Spirit now. Stayed on Spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind. Yeah. Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah. 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 Walking and talking with my mind.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Stayed, yeah.
Stayed on Spirit.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Stayed on Spirit now.
Stayed on Spirit.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Walking and talking with my mind.
Stayed on the Spirit.
Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Tertullian, what you got?
Get your name
Ollie, we're in a little bit of church going on, right?
That's right.
So, right on. So, let us prepare for our service. My name is Reverend Carlton Richard Thibaut, and it is my joy to be with you this morning. We'd just like to prepare our service with this meditative thought. During these challenging times, when our world family is facing and responding with positive activism in many forms to bring about social, cultural, educational, and governmental change, we must trust that the great law of life governing the universe will prevail. The wheels of divine justice may grind more slowly than we prefer, but they grind surely. So as we talk together in these days and months to come, let us continue to take a stand for change, grounded in principle, and to trust the results according to Spirit's divine right timing. May trust and peace rule in our hearts. That was by our own Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith.
So grateful. Well, it is time for our congregational song. Once again, we just welcome you all here. Thank you so much for being here, that we can share in this love together. This song is called Use Me, for those of you who are with us for the very first time, and the words are on the screen, so please feel free to follow along, and feel free to stand at this time in our service to sing these beautiful words of the divine.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and needs us to shine
Welcome. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, musicians. Welcome to the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And I am Susie Lula, so honored to be your guest minister today, your host minister today. As we bring Andrea Lane and Billy Shank forward onto the platform to deliver their musical inspiration to all of you, which you're just going to love, I wanted to just introduce to you a little formally. Andrea Lane, one people, one love, one race, one kind and just society. My vision is to assist in our awakening through music and message, she says. Andrea Lane is an inspirational singer-songwriter who shares music in spiritual centers around the globe. She tours with her husband, co-writer Billy Shank, and together they represent freedom and transformation. Billy is also a featured speaker and an award-winning author. And so we rock, and so it is. Her releases are available on her website, andrealane.org, and through Apple Music. So we welcome you, and we're so grateful that you're here.
Thank you. Don't be hijacked by the world of illusion, including billboards, the promise of happiness, and a bottle of chemicals and sugar. But be free and relentless in your expression of joy. Be vigilant with your thoughts and where you place your attention. The truth is, the Bible is a blueprint. It teaches love and forgiveness. But the truth is not limited to that one book, but to one religion. You know that it's not. We all want love, we want world peace. Then we drop our bombs while children go to bed hungry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You are strong, you are free, you're a child of the sun. There's a genius within you, more talent than you know. Your dreams are eternal. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. There will always be folks that want to judge you, say this and that, make you out to be a rebel, a renegade, or whatever it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just know, God don't see you that way. God only sees the love and the beauty that you always have been, and you always will be. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And you are strong, you are free, you're a child of the sun. There's a genius within you, more talent than you know. Your dreams are eternal. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let it out, let it out,
Curtis Bird, who my son just adores you, John Hart, Joshua Scare, and the amazing Ben Dowling, who also did our meditation music, all under the direction and leadership of Mary Ann Lewis. Thank you, all of you. The music here is just amazing. We're hoping that you're already feeling into the spirit and the energy of divine love here at Agape. So welcome. Welcome again to the Agape International Spiritual Center. Again, as I said, I am Reverend Susie Lula. So honored to be your host minister for you today. And Reverend Michael, just so you know, he will be back next Sunday. So tune back in, and you will also be hearing from him a little later in the service. So as always, when Reverend Michael travels and he's away, he leaves us in really good hands. And today, we are left in really good hands and with a huge open heart, and that is the big heart of Reverend Jason Davian Mitchell. His topic today is, are you ready for this? Liars, tyrants, and prayers. Who am I? So we are waiting to hear this amazing message. Thank you, Reverend Jason. I want to welcome you all officially. If it is your first time with us, we're so grateful to have you here as part of our beloved spiritual community. And we want you to know that we see you and we feel you and we appreciate you being here. So right where you are, just take a nice deep breath, relax, and just know that you are seen, you are appreciated. And for those of us who have been here a really long time, all the practitioners who are with you on the chat, all of the ministers, and all of the other congregants who have been here, we are right now surrounding you. So let's all surround these newcomers. We are lifting our arms, our hands. We are extending our heart to you. We want you to know that we see you. We see who you really are. We know that you are a spiritual, divine emanation of the Most High. You are a divine emanation of love, beauty, and divine intelligence on this planet. And we celebrate you. We appreciate you, and we thank God for you. So please consider yourself welcomed, make yourself comfortable, maybe even give yourself a big hug. Wrap your arms around yourself. Begin to know what it feels like to truly experience the power of self-love and the divine love that is flowing during this service. We welcome you. Thank you for being here. You are loved. Thank you, band. So you're feeling welcomed. You're all settled in. You're ready to receive. So this part of our service is when a practitioner comes. And what is a practitioner? We have a core of practitioners, over 300 of us, and we're holding a prayer field. We're holding a prayer vigil. What does that mean? It means that right where you are, there are practitioners surrounding you, embracing you, and reminding you that you sit in the midst of pure, perfect, and unconditional love. You can be chatting with them in the chat. If you're on the Facebook page, we are here for you to hold you in prayer, and we are communicating with you on the chat. And today we have one practitioner in particular, Melanie McCulley, and she will be coming forward and she'll be doing our affirmations for us. She will be reading our Agape purpose statement. She will be sharing and reading the selected reading of the day. And then she'll be centering us and anchoring us in a moment of prayer. So welcome, Melanie. Thank you so much for all of your service here, beautiful practitioner. Excuse me.
Thank you, Reverend Susie. Good morning. Reverend Michael's theme for this month is Originality Must Be Your Causality. Our speaker today is Reverend Davion Mitchell, and his topic is Liars and Tyrants and Prayers. Who am I? This morning I had the joy of facilitating our meditation with music by Ben Dowling. Today our musical inspiration is Andrea Lane with Billy Shank. Our interpreters today are T.L. Forsberg and Risa Rojas. Licensed practitioners are currently holding prayer vigil and engaging with you in the comments of this broadcast on Facebook Live. You are invited to share any prayer request in the chat or contact our prayer ministry directly. Now it is a time for our affirmations. I invite you to please stand and repeat them aloud after me, line by line. My life is lived in touch with the Spirit of the living God.
My life is lived in touch with the Spirit of the living God.
Divine abundance moves in perfect circulation as my life.
Divine abundance moves in perfect circulation as my life.
I live in the problem-free zone of the eternal now.
I live in the problem-free zone of eternal now.
The joy of being and the gift of right seeing are my everyday experience.
The joy of being and the gift of right seeing are my everyday experience.
I have everything I need to set myself free.
I have everything I need to set myself free.
Gratefully, I let it be.
Gratefully, I let it be.
So be it. Amen. Agape's purpose statement. Our purpose as an intentional spiritual community is to be a living environment for individuals to realize that they are unique emanations of God, the love intelligence governing the universe. We embody an understanding of our oneness with God, and we consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through the New Thought Ageless Wisdom teachings and the energy of unconditional love, we are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Simply, we are here for God. Our selected reading is taken from the book Human by Design by Greg Braden. It is taken from chapter 7, We're Wired for Destiny, and begins on page 209. Sometimes the best way to understand a complex idea is through the eyes of someone who sees the world simply. The wisdom of Forrest Gump, the title character played by Tom Hanks in the 1994 film of the same name, is a perfect example of this kind of vision. When Gump is asked about the role of destiny in our lives, his timeless words ring true today as when he spoke them on the big screen for the first time, over 2 decades ago. I don't know if each of us have a destiny, he says, or if we're all just floating around accidental-like on a breeze, but I think maybe it's both. Gump's philosophy precisely describes what personal transformation is all about. As individuals, we each have a destiny that awaits us as the fulfillment of our greatest potential. Our destiny is ours, however, only if we act. Through the choices we make in each and every moment of our lives, we claim this personal destiny. The certainty of knowing who we are and how we fit into the world is the compass that can guide us as we make our choices one day at a time. So I invite you all now to join me in prayer as we close the outer eye and just dip into the Spirit here for a moment. And just opening our hearts wide open with gratitude, just so grateful to be alive, grateful to be right here with one another, grateful to be open and receptive, knowing that what's happening right here and right now and always and in always is God, is Spirit, is love, is beauty. I am one with it, and so is each and every person hearing these words. and beyond, that we are all one with the one. And that what we can do today is to really dip into that internal compass, the compass that is always guiding and directing us in the perfect right way, and just saying yes to our unfolding potential, to our unique purpose, our unique destiny here in this lifetime, that each of us are so blessed and a blessing. And with that, I bless this service today. I bless our Reverend Jason and all the contributors here that make this service possible. Bless our beautiful Reverend Michael for saying yes to his vision of Agape. And so I know that it is good and it is very good, and we get to reside in a childlike wonder for the remainder of this service. And with that, I just simply say, and so it is.
Great is the mercy in me, God's loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercy I see day after day.
Great is the mercy in me, God's loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercies I see day after day. Providing for me. Great is the mercy in me. Great is God's grace. Great is the mercy in me. God's loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercies I see day after day, forever faithful I'll be to love that's providing for me. Great is the mercy in me. Great is God's
It's just so touching to me, God's loving kindness in me. May we all feel God's loving kindness within our hearts. Thank you all so much. So touching. This is what Agape's music ministry does for us. Thank you. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, everyone. And now I'd like to invite up our Reverend Carlton, who will share some announcements with us.
Good morning again, Agape Nation. We have a few highlights for you today, so visit our website at agapelive.com for more details on everything that I'm going to share here, and remember that all times are Pacific Daylight Time. So as we enter the powerful season of spring, a season of rebirth and renewal, have your New Year's resolutions and intentions faded into the background? If so, then now is the perfect time to reinvest in and reinvigorate your sacred vision for your life. Join Reverend Michael for Agape's virtual intensive, Your Spring Resolution, Renewal, Stabilization, and Liberation. Saturday, May 29th at 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Register today at agapelive.com. And Agape University invites you to register today for the Answer Is You 2.0. In this live 5-week online course taught by Reverend Susie Lula, our host minister here today, and also facilitated by Reverend Carlton Thibaut right here today, and a fabulous facilitation team. This is teachings based on Reverend Michael's powerful book, The Answer Is You, and you will transform all of the major areas of your life, such as relationships, finances, livelihood, spirituality, and more. So releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from living out your highest potential. This class begins Wednesday the 19th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Go to the university page at agapelive.com to register now. And this is a required prerequisite for the practitioner path. Today, the Agape Wise Ones invites the 50-plus community to experience spiritual power rising now at 2 p.m. Zoom to view a creative expression showcase, expand your knowledge in technology, and receive updates on your activities. Click on the Agape Wise Ones banner at the top of the page of our website to register. And today, the Music and Arts Ministry is excited to announce that the Agape International and Global choirs are open for auditions. No matter where you are in the world, it's time to answer the call. Come together and sing. Auditions begin today at May 16th and they run through May 30th. If you are a singer interested in sharing your voice, building community, and experiencing the great joy of participating in the music of Agape, please visit agapelive.com Global Choir to get all the details for both choirs and upload your audition video today. And please make sure that you check the guidelines for eligibility and to see exactly how to submit. This is an invitation for Agape members here in the Los Angeles area, as well as those all over the world, to join together in song through our virtual performances and beyond. Teen Agape meets online at 11:15. That's happening now. So for information and to join, click on the Teen Agape banner on the website. Preteens ages 9 to 13 meet at 2 o'clock. Children ages 3 to 8 meet at 3:30 p.m. Both are live Zoom. So to join and get your Agape Youth Fun Packs, email revleon@agapelive.com. And Monday through Saturday, we'll see you here on Facebook at 8 a.m. for daily prayer and 12 noon for meditation. Go to Agape Live at home for more details. And Crisis Support Clinic is open Mondays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. To receive Zoom info, details for your first come, first serve appointment, please email crisissupport@agapelive.com. And this is presented on a love offering basis to the community at large. And our Agape spiritual community gatherings are in session. Join us every Friday evening at 5:30 p.m. and connect in community for enriching, inspiring gatherings led by our practitioners and ministers. Email scg@agapelive.com for more information. And then dance with the Rev. Get your endorphins flowing and shift your mood. Show us your moves in a 1-minute video, dancing during a Sunday service, and upload using the banner on the Agape website. You may see yourself dance with the Rev on social media and on Sundays. Peace and blessings, Agape Nation. Have a great service.
Thank you, Reverend Carlton. Thank you, Melanie, for your beautiful prayer and affirmations. Thank you, House Band. So now, treat time. Let's hear from Reverend Michael.
Peace and riches blessings, everyone. I'm hailing to you from Sedona, Arizona. I'm here at BioCybernaut doing an intense meditation training. It's extremely powerful. and you're in good hands today. You have, if you were at the Way of Meditation service, you had Akili Beckwith. The rest of the service will be, obviously, the word will be spoken through Reverend Jason D. Mitchell. And of course, all the ministers and practitioners surrounding that and the wonderful music. It's all about you becoming more you. So I want you to dedicate yourself to listening without ears and to seeing without eyes, and allowing the vibration of Agape, this wonderful spiritual center, and all of its practitioners and ministers to just flood your being so that you discover the depth of your own being and set it free. Welcome to Agape today. God bless you. I'll see you next Sunday. Have a bright day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Reverend Michael. We are so fortunate to have a teacher who really practices these teachings. He's there in an intensive retreat setting, and that's what he teaches us. He teaches us to practice the teachings. So deeply grateful for Reverend Michael. And as we invite Andrea Lane and Billy back to the stage for a musical inspiration before Reverend Jason's talk, I want to introduce him a little more formally to any of you who are just getting to know him, so that after the song, he can just seamlessly flow into that energy. For any of you who know Reverend Jason or have been around Agape for even a minute, you've probably run into him. He's everywhere in service in this community. So if it is your first time getting to know him, you are also meeting a very open-hearted, powerful spiritual teacher. I've had the pleasure and honor of walking on this path with him for a very, very long time. We went through the School of Ministry together, and he also is another powerful individual who absolutely practices the teachings, which you will hear in a moment. But formally, Reverend Jason Davian Mitchell is a 2020 graduate in the inaugural class of the Michael B. Beckwith School of Ministry. As a staff member here at Agape, Reverend Jason manages Agape's prayer ministry. So when you're calling in for prayer, Jason is managing the whole prayer ministry, which is huge, and supports the practitioner corps, also a large body of consciousness we are. And in addition to these roles, he serves as the director for Agape's Sacred Service Ministry. So as I said, Reverend Jason is a servant. He is a true man of service, a true man of God, and you are in for a very powerful message. So Andrea, we welcome you back. We welcome Billy back. House band, bring it on.
Thank you. Aditya-hridayam punyam sarva shatrobinashanam. Aditya-hridayam punyam sarva shatrobinashanam. When the sun shines in my heart, all evil vanishes from life. When the sun shines in my heart, all evil vanishes from life. Hey, whoa, 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 There is only one of us. There is only one of us. There is only one of us. There is only one. There is only one. Rise above and shine. Raise it up. Raise it up. And we're working with the law, every one of us is working with the law, with the law. Every one of us is working with the law, the universal law. Now we back it up with love. Raise the vibration, raise it up, raise it up. And I know we're all finding our way back home. And I know we're all finding our way back home. And to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, up above and below, God is all. To the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, up above and below, God is all there is. Raise the vibration, raise it up, raise it up. And I know we're all finding a way back home, baby. And I know we're all finding a way back home. There is only one of us. Now we raise the vibration. You know we're raising it up. You know we're raising it up. And I know we're all finding a way back home. And I know we're all finding a way back home. And I know we're all finding our way home.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Billy. Well, good morning, Agape. I don't know about you, but I like a good splash of rock and roll, like real rock and roll, like a lot of drums and a lot of guitar, and maybe Ben can play a little something, just a little. Because I feel like all the great rock bands, the thing that I noticed was where's the keyboard player? So many of them just tried, we got guitars. Kids couldn't afford keyboards, so it was easier to get drums and a guitar and a bass. And I just acknowledge that for a second because I just want to acknowledge my mom, Darlene Love, who is an absolute rocker. And I'm the son of a rock star. So it's kind of fun just to lean into that vibration. So Andrea and Billy, thank you so much for bringing the beat. Curtis, John, Joshua, everybody. So good morning, Agape. Again, welcome into the field. No, I am not Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. He used to have hair like this. Now he's much smoother. He's got a whole other vibration going on, and I just want to take a moment to acknowledge him. He is doing the work. One of the big things that we are just grateful for is that our teacher does the work. So, Reverend Michael, thank you for doing the work. And Agape, I want to start my talk off today with a short story. The story comes out of the dervish tradition, so out of the Sufi Muslim tradition. And the story talks about a man who was going through it, stressed out, burnt out, all kinds of problems, all kinds of agonies. And he just pleaded and said, I will give all I have. I will sell my home and give all that I get for selling my home to the poor. So a day came when he knew peace, when balance and order had been restored to his life, and he realized that the bill was coming due. And so he wrestled with himself because he was trying to figure out, it's like, I want to sell this house, but I don't know that I still want to give what I get for it in return to the poor. So he came up with a bit of a scheme. A man came and wanted to purchase the house, and he said, "Oh, this house is for sale, but it comes with a cat." So the man said the house is for sale for 1 silver piece. The cat, 10,000 silver pieces. But they come together. So the man bought the house, and the man who sold the house gave that 1 silver piece to the poor. You see, the lesson in this story may not be as obvious to you as it was for me. In being in community for a long time, I have been fascinated by how often we lean into the principles, we lean into the laws, we lean into the teachings, and we do not give back to that place from which we have received. And it is sort of a bit of a scheme and a manipulation that human beings do. This is not unusual. And so as we enter into this teaching today, the things that I speak about and that which what I give forth, I'm inviting you to live it. My topic this morning is liars and tyrants and prayers. Who am I? Liars and tyrants and prayers. Who am I? You may recognize the alliteration of that. It's sort of a play on the lions and tigers and bears, oh my, that we get in the film, The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a story of transformation, right? You do know that. You do know that The Wizard of Oz is a story of transformation. A little girl who had fallen into an illusion, and then she was reminded that she had the power. I got to get him out. She had the power within her all along. And so as we look at the topic that I'm going to speak to, it comes directly inspired by Reverend Michael's topic, theme for the month, originality must be your causality. So often, many of us are moving through this journey and this thing called life, and we're caught up in trying to figure out how that teacher became that way, or how that business person became that, or how that family became that way, or how that couple is like that. We're looking at all of these things, and we seek to replicate and copy what they've done. We seek to be like them. Our causality in that pattern is people. It's humanity. It's corporations. It's the film Eat, Pray, Love, or the book if you're a reader. It's so many things except for original cause. So often teachers, but also students, don't recognize that there was an original cause before the bestseller. There was an original cause before the top-selling film. There was original cause before the transformation, before the sacred text was bound together. There was original cause. And that is the place where you are tapping into, called to tap into, to actualize and realize who you truly are. But here's the thing. You've been lied to. Your mama lied to you. Your daddy lied to you. Mama and them, society, the newspapers have been lying to you. Now, when I say liar, let me take a step back in case my mama is watching. When I was growing up, calling somebody a liar was akin to a curse word. Might as well have been cussing. But in this case, a liar is one who has a limited idea about reality. A limited idea about reality. Yes? So as we take on this idea, we reframe and requalify it. We can also let go of all the feelings and frustrations and irritations and annoyances we have about all those people who lied to us, because we can recognize that they simply had a limited idea about reality. And that applies even when they do things consciously, when they make a plan and they execute it. Just because you make a plan and you execute something does not make you any more of a genius or conscious or ascendant than one who simply happens upon a thing. If you have a limited idea about reality, that will be a part of your blueprint. Your blueprint, your plans are going to be limited. The way that you move, the way that you plan, the way that you organize, the way that you budget is going to be based on a limited idea about reality. But here's the thing, you've been lied to because, not because someone wanted to do you wrong. Mom, dad, the society and the way and the form that it had shaped, the information and the data that they actually had, they didn't know any better. They didn't know that there were limitations in what they were saying and what they were sharing. They didn't know. So it's a wonderful time to practice forgiveness, yes? Forgiveness of others, but also you've been lying to yourself because you've been living based upon these limited ideas about reality, and you've been promoting them, and you've been selling them, and you've been sharing these limited ideas about reality. So there's the opportunity also to forgive yourself. There's nothing to be held against anyone. And so as we look at these limited ideas about reality, I want you to see that for the liars, the tyrants are the ones that we don't always notice. I mean, generally speaking, when you hear the word tyrant, you think of this big monster, or you think of a despot, or you think of somebody that's running a country with a fist. But I want to expand your idea of what a tyrant is by starting with the basic definition of what a tyrant is. A tyrant is one who usurps sovereignty. Usurps, takes hold of, denies the sovereignty, the ability for another individual to make choice, to choose from another. What do you have going on in your life? What do you witness in the world that is usurping your sovereignty? I will submit that there are certain things that we just don't recognize that usurp our sovereignty that have been codified into the government and into laws. Once upon a time, my descendants were only 3/5 of a human, or my ancestors. Let me get that word right. And once upon a time, women didn't have the right to vote in this country. It was law, not just happenstance. It was law. And even as we navigate this, some of the things that we've accepted as policy have also been accepted. Think for a moment about the idea of capitalism run amok. Not just capitalism that's balanced, not just an economic system or structure that has checks and balances in it, but think about capitalism, how it functions, at least here in America, with this idea that the minimum allowable wage that someone is allowed to be paid is $7.25. There is not a single place within the United States where a person who would work full-time at that wage would be able to afford suitable housing, even if there were two people in that house making that wage. Now, in many cases, you'll find people that will defend the minimum wage. I hear you. They'll say, and as a friend of mine did say, in talking about the minimum wage, that's the wage that an individual's skills and abilities have qualified them for. But the reality is the only reason that the minimum wage exists is because people were paying individuals pennies in order to do a job, and they were so much in control of the systems and structures of businesses that they had to be forced into a minimum amount of money to pay someone. When you've got kids to feed, when you've got a sick parent, you're going to work whatever job you can work in whatever system that you were born into. If you're in Venezuela, if you're in Cuba, if you're in America, if you're in Russia, you have this in common. So it's not even really just about capitalism, but that's the one system I'm talking about in this moment. Any system that is codified and structured so that an individual cannot, through their reasonable labor, provide for their family and community is a tyrant. It is one who usurps one's ability to be free and to liberate themselves. There's just so much about that $7.50 an hour that is a bottom. And even in California, where we're getting our way to $15 an hour for the minimum wage, that's still not enough based upon cost of living for an individual, for one single person to be able to have a single family dwelling in Los Angeles County. It's just not enough money. As I mentioned in the previous system, this is a tyrant because it requires you to have to abandon your family in some cases so that you're never home because you have to work. Even if you're this two-family nuclear, as somebody said, the nuclear family was a very good name when you really think about it. When you really look at these scenarios and how these things are packaged to us, they're tyrants. And capitalism is just one. And it's not just capitalism just by itself. It's the extreme idea where the humanity is not involved. As you look at other systems of economic structures, you'll see the same thing in other countries, but it's not just that. It's the misogyny. Misogyny is a tyrant. The idea that women get treated as different, as subjected to all of these harassments, causes them to hide themselves, causes them to not just want to go for a walk in the middle of the night to refresh themselves as parents. Now that the kids are asleep so I can get a breath of fresh air, I'm afraid because there's violent means out in the street that are potentially going to do harm to me. Misogyny, racism, transphobia, homophobia, all of these ideas, these isms and schisms are tyrants. Even the idea that Hollywood and the media push upon us about love. Generally speaking, on the dating apps, in Cosmo, in the men's and women's magazines, as they talk about love, rarely are they ever consistent in saying that we deserve love just because we exist. Anything that puts love in a you have to earn it kind of category is a tyrant. Anything that tells you that you are not deserving of love just because you exist is a tyrant. It doesn't matter how heinous the crime is that you've committed. The idea that there was a society and a structure that allowed you to grow into a limited being that shows up in committing acts of criminality also has to be held accountable. But we don't hold our society accountable. We don't hold the systems and structures that raised up people on these ridiculously tiny wages so that a desperation had to come and take hold of them. It's a tyrant. And so as I talk about the liars, as I talk about the tyrants, if you have been a part of this community for any time, my question for you is this: can you speak the word for your life? Do you have the sovereignty to declare as truth without apology about your life? I don't mean egocentric truth and my truth and separate limited ideas. I mean, can you stand and speak the word for your life? Agape exists in its form right now because at a certain point, Reverend Michael caught a vision. And in catching the vision, he has told us many times that he really didn't want to start a community, that he really had not intended even to be a minister. I just love that I know his story so well, that he enters into ministerial study not because the sky opened up one day, though the sky has opened up over Reverend Michael many, many times. He's quite powerful that way. But he had just been such a powerful student that the faculty at the School of Ministry said, if you just go ahead and become a minister because you've taken all the classes, you can keep studying and taking classes for free. Well, I'll be. How about that? Spirit just grabbed hold of him in the way and from the place that he was already hungering and feeding and nurturing himself for. But here's the thing. I asked you if you can speak the word for your life because some of us within this community and communities around the world, depending on who our teacher is, will ask somebody consistently to speak a word for our lives, but we do not have the confidence to speak the word for our own life. I'm not saying when we're overwhelmed. I'm just speaking about on a day-to-day basis. From time to time, can you speak the word over your life, over your children, over your community, over Israel, over Gaza, over Brazil, over India, over the individuals dealing with diagnoses, whether it's COVID, whether it's cancer, whether it's AIDS, whether it's HIV, whether it's high blood pressure, or maybe it's just simply the rent. Can you speak the word for someone or for yourself when the bill comes due? If you can't do that, and you've been a part of this community in any way, I'm pulling your card and calling you forth because Reverend Michael didn't just create a community. He created a community with lots of people to pray for you, lots of people to pray with you, lots of classes, lots of workshops, and lots of free and paid opportunities for you to transform that lack. The idea that you can't speak your word. Let's get real intimate real quick. The idea that you can't speak your word is basically the idea of an adult not being able to read. This is not with judgment because we know that there are adults who are illiterate. But for you to reach a stage of adulthood and not be able to speak the word for your life, that means our society has failed you. Make sure you hear me. I'm not even blaming you. I'm telling you that our society has failed you. We have failed to provide you what you needed so that you could speak your word, so that when people lied about you, when they misidentify you as merely being a man or a woman or gay or straight or trans or poor or rich or fat or skinny or bulimic, as anybody has lied to you and said that you are these things and you took on identities which are not the truth about who you are, we have done you a disservice if we have not prepared you to speak the word for yourself. It's one of the reasons why I do my daily prayer call. Each day, creating a space for people to lean into. And now more than ever, asking people questions and doing inquiries so that we can take account of our own lives. Because you see, the liars and the tyrants and the prayers get us to the final idea of my topic today, which is, who am I? In order for you to navigate these structures and these patterns and these pathways, it is essential that you really come into an understanding of who you are. But the first thing that you have to do is let go of every limited idea about reality, every limited idea that you've held about yourself. So for the idea that you only walk through the world as whatever idea that the world has told you what a man is, what a woman is, what plenitude and abundance look like from a world's perspective. If you only know abundance based upon a dollar amount, you don't know abundance. If you only know abundance based upon great financial wealth, you do not understand the concept of abundance yet, and you have been lied to. Somebody has given you a limited ideas about reality. Continuing. You have to set down these limited ideas that you've taken up on, even the limited idea of mother. Do you want me to switch, Ted? All right, I caught it. Because I'm always listening. And so we're not going to wait and try to switch out the pack. You need to let go even of your limited idea of what mother is. Because our society has presented mother as a person in many ways that sacrifices everything for her children, that sacrifices relationship and pleasure and joy, in many cases, giving hours and hours and hours. We don't seem to hold father to the same standard. Many fathers do this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what the lie about the idea of mother must be put down. The first thing that we have to do is put down all of the wrong descriptions, the lies about the roles and the labels that we have. If you're in the financial sector, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money. That's not what we're saying. But the Bible told us really simple, and maybe not enough of us understand the idea of what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul. Your journey is not primarily about the human world experience and how the world defines things. There is a divine idea of what it means to be a mother, a brother, a father, a friend, a lover, a trusted partner. There is a divine idea on what it is to be a farmer. There is a divine idea about all of these roles that we can step into, and you have to put down your current idea. And before you pick up a higher idea, I'm inviting you then to put down all of the ideas and the things that you say about yourself. What is your self-talk like? Are you not comfortable standing naked in the mirror and looking at yourself? Are you uncomfortable with looking at your financial expenditures? Do you beat yourself up when you look at your bank account? When you look at the choices that you've made in terms of relationships? I need more of us to put down the self-talk that is unloving. And as you put down the labels and as you put down the limited ideas about what you've held about yourself, just wait a second. Be still. Don't take on any new ideas of being enlightened. Simply be. Be for a moment. Allow yourself to be breathed. Allow yourself to have an awareness that the living presence itself is replicating and duplicating the cells in your body in a healthy way. That no matter what I've heard or what has been said about me, just allow yourself to be in a conscious awareness of the presence. For a moment, if anything enters into your awareness that is not the presence, is not love, is not whatever word or term you use to express the idea of the all, put down everything other than it. And before you take back up what it means to be a father, ask for the divine idea of fatherhood. Before you take up the divine idea of what it means to be a manager, pick up the divine idea of what it means to be a manager. Before you enter into the courtroom and you sit on a jury, pick up the divine idea of what it means to be a juror. Hold yourself accountable for taking back your sovereignty. You and only you can take back your sovereignty. Reverend Michael cannot do it for us. Reverend Kathleen, Akili, Reverend Joanne, Reverend Susie, Reverend Carlton, they cannot do it for us. You must have a conscious, engaged, powerful practice. And someone asked in the chat from the previous service about the how. The how is the practice. You must have a practice. You who are not licensed and haven't gone through training at Agape or Unity or whatever are all practicing something. You're practicing fear. You're practicing doubt. You're practicing your anger. You're not just experiencing anger. There's nothing wrong with the experience of anger. But if you are so into practicing anger that anger is your first and last go-to, that means you are ruled. You are a slave to your anger. And so the how is the practice. Take as a prescription the next 60 days. And over the next 60 days, whatever it is you want to do, be unrelenting in the practice of it. Here are some examples. If you want more abundance in your life, for the next 60 days, be consciously aware of two things. The first is any thought that you have that is other than abundance, worried, anxious, concerned about not having enough. Just make note of it for 60 days. Write them down. And as a part of your morning and evening, just for 60 days, develop a practice of affirming and knowing the truth. You can use any of Agape's affirmations as a tool if this language is just not something you're really acquainted with. Paul, pull that slide up onto the screen and we'll talk about it. For example, if you look at the first and just says, the first affirmation is, my life is lived in touch with the Spirit of the living God. But check out this second one if you were working on abundance in your life. Divine abundance moves in perfect circulation as my life. Check out that second one. I live in the problem-free zone of the eternal now. Thank you, Paul. And now, this is what that looks like as your life. Every morning, every night, for 60 days. You can do it more than that. Speak the truth about your life. No matter how many email notices you get from American Express, I live in a problem-free zone. I'll get back to you. No matter how many messages and red notices you get, call the electric company, call your boss and say, hey, I live in a problem-free zone. How are we going to work this out? Because we're going to have to work this out because I'm abundant and I may not be able to do what you're asking me to do, but I'm not going to enter into stress and worry and anxiety and fear. So what are we going to do? You can't work anything out? Okay, call me back when we can work something out. Next. But the conscious practice of this is the thing. Too many of us quit. Too many of us let go because we also think we should know what it looks like. Here's the rub. You've never lived this yet. So if you've never lived this yet, you don't know what it's going to look like once you've had the burden lifted and you've been freed from all of this. Here is where you're coming into a greater identity of yourself. You've been lied to, hoodwinked, run amok, as Brother Malcolm said. But you're getting free right here, right now. Yes? In the comments section, for those of you that are streaming on YouTube and Facebook, I just want you to just type your affirmations of truth right now. Whatever the thing is that you want to say for these next 60 days, lean into that space. Type it in. And if you don't know what to say, Agape is an active community. Check out what those other people are saying over there in the chat. See what they're saying and take what's for you. Because there is no theirs and me and mine. There's only one. So the one mine that couldn't yet make it through you is making it through Cheryl or Joanne or Melanie or Lee or Brenda or Tommy. And you're willing to accept this now. Yes? Let's turn within for a time in prayer. Thank you, God. Thank you, love. Thank you, great spirit. Thank you, living intelligence. As Snoop said, I want to thank me. Because there's no separation. I'm grateful for the me that showed up right here. And I'm grateful for your me who typed that affirmation. I'm grateful for your me that called the prayer ministry. I'm grateful for your me that's willing to be a part of a transformation, that's not willing to quit, that's not willing to give up. I'm thankful for your me. And we are accessing the infinite possibilities that are realities now. We're moving from a limited idea about reality to an unlimited idea about what is possible. An unlimited idea about what is possible upon the earth. An unlimited idea that is beyond all the labels and the isms and the schisms. It's beyond our past history. It's rooted in the sovereignty of our lives in this moment. No one and no thing has more power over us and our choices and decisions. In this moment, we live the joy, the beauty, the power, the harmony, the balance, the creativity, the intelligence. That is the reality of our lives. That is how we raise our children. That is how we show up virtually on our jobs or in person. That is how we show up serving in our community. That is how we show up at the beach cleanup. It has not stopped. It will not stop. This consciousness is spiraling up to its greatest yet to be. This is the reality of our lives and our world. Even now, as I bring Marianne over, and Marianne, seal this part of the prayer in song.
All of the ways I walked in pain, all of the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all the things that held me down, falling away from me.
Let it fall.
Falling away from me. I'm rising up, yes, it's all falling away.
Yes, yes.
Away from me.
It's falling away right now, right where you are. Let it fall away.
Yeah.
Tell them, Marianne, let them know.
All of the ways I walked in pain, all of the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all of the things that held me down, falling away from me. Woo. Yes, falling away from me. I'm rising up, yes, falling away, away from me. Yes, all the lies, diamonds, everything fall away from me. I'm just the spirit, yeah, falling away from me.
Yes, yes, yes. So we bring those who are on our prayer list into the field. And we begin with all those who have called into our prayer ministry, all those who are working with all of the many different ministries that are working with our practitioners, that have emailed our prayer ministry. We hold them all in this field. And these individual names are representative of all of the people in this field of consciousness. So right where Desiree Szabo is, the harmony of God is for Lee Poppy. Right where Mona Prager is, the divine radiates and shines as her life. All is well. Right where Linda and Larry are, we stand with them in agreement for Brian Hassett's complete healing and restoration. There is no limit to Brian Hassett. Even Lisa Finn, we know no limitation. We know all is provided. It is all at hand now, right now, Lisa. As Yassine Ismail, we bless the presence of God that surrounds, undergirds, lifts, and provides. Beloved Kathy Daniels, longtime member of Agape, part of Reverend Michael's neighborhood as he was growing up. We hold Kathy in the field of prayer, even as she is moving to the other side of the veil. We know that right where Kathy is, the peace of God, which passes all understanding, the light and love of God is all that she knows. Simultaneously, her beloved mother, Teresa Daniels, we hold Teresa in the prayer field as she is moving through her own journey in the physical, and as she is navigating what is unfolding for her daughter. We as the community surround them, undergird them, and support them with love. We bring India, the country, into our awareness. And there is so much that is unfolding within this country. Peace be still, divine guidance, divine wisdom at hand. Peace be still for India and Brazil and all the nations around the world that are navigating these unique times that we're all moving through. We bless the brothers and sisters in Gaza and across the Middle East. We are holding for that which has never been. We are moving beyond limited ideas of what is possible, and we are declaring peace. We are declaring love overflowing as these brothers and sisters in this community, in this region. And I take this opportunity to bless my brother, our brother, Reverend Leon Campbell, and his entire family as they are moving through the transition of Sister Putina. Right where they are, there was only love, there was only beauty, there was only peace. For this and so much more, we are grateful and thankful. We simply let it be. Amen. Amin. Ashe. Shalom. Salam. Hotep. Thank you. Thank you for staying tuned in. Thank you for not clicking the X in the upper right-hand corner. Thank you for staying with us because the service is not over. One of the most important opportunities you've ever been given in your life is at hand right now. It's an opportunity for you to show, to share, to express, to invest, to open your heart as we invite you to show your appreciation for the Agape community, for all that Reverend Michael has done, for the wonderful people that he has provided so that you could have this service today. Did you get anything out of the message today? Did you get anything out of the wonderful music today? For the space that we hold for you and for your family. We talk about the classes, we talk about the staff. As a staff member, it gives me great pride to just be in service to you. And we invite you to support Agape. I'm going to speak a blessing over this, that which you are considering in your gift, in whatever size and whatever amount. I'm knowing that you're giving for what you want to experience and realize as your life. Hear me again. Your giving reflects what you want and desire to experience as your life. How very grateful I am for this time that we have together. Grateful for the opportunity that we all are taking on in this moment to give. Blessing the living presence itself and how it lives, moves, and guides as us all. Knowing absolutely it is rooted in consciousness as we all are one with it. So I bless the giving on every form. I bless the giving through the mail, through the text to donate, through the online mechanisms, through any way, shape, or form this community is answering the call to give. I know it is good. I know it is blessed. And so it is. Amen. Reverend Susie?
Thank you so much, Reverend Jason. Thank you so much. So as you all are sitting with that call inside and touching upon what it is that you are feeling called to give, we want you to know that we appreciate it. We appreciate whatever amount you feel called to give. There are so many ways to give at Agape. So first, if you are on our website or want to go to the website, agapelive.com. Agapelive.com, it's a safe, secure site. There's a button, donate button. You can begin to donate there now. If you're on the Facebook page, if you're on Reverend Michael's Facebook page, there's a donate button there. If you are on the YouTube channel, we have so many new ways that you can stream the service and are able to donate. So that is another safe, secure. You'll have a link to go to donate. Text to donate, as Reverend Jason was saying. You text the word give to 424-321-6243. And then there's good old checks and cash. You can mail in your check or offering to 8549 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1156, Beverly Hills, California, 90211. The thing we want you to hear is that when you feel that call of what it is that you are being prompted to give, and you listen to that, we appreciate it. We are grateful. Your donation, your offering, your giving, your contribution not only teaches you the law of circulation, and as Jason was saying, how it will expand you in your life. When you give, something will come back to you exponentially expanded because you are expanding your own heart. You are expanding your own capacity to give. So whatever it is that you're called to give, whether it's $10, $20, $200, $200,000, whatever it is that is your calling, when you answer it, you are being stretched, you are being enlarged, your capacity to really truly understand and live the law of abundance and circulation and prosperity and opulence is enhanced and increased. And in addition, you are so assisting this global beloved community to continue to thrive, to continue to allow these teachings to land upon you no matter what part of the world you're in right now. Whether you're in South Africa, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Israel, whether you're in Switzerland, wherever you are on planet Earth, these teachings are available to you. And by your generous giving, you are allowing these teachings to become more integrated onto planet Earth. So just listen to that call. Know before you even give, you are appreciated. So we're going to let some music wash over us while you're listening to your own call. Marianne.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was ahead. Now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
You love the music here at Agape. Your giving ensures that it increases and it expands. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, all of the musicians. So let's bless this offering so that you know that you have contributed today to this music ministry, to these teachings, if you have children, they're receiving children's curriculum and teachings. There's so many ways that your giving is being deeply appreciated by us. So let's just bless this offering. Just gently close your eyes, open your heart. And I first start with you. We are so grateful for whatever it is that you are called to give, whatever it is, whatever amount, it is enough and it is right on time. So feel good about your own giving. We are so grateful. We appreciate your giving. I know that this giving is alchemized. Your offerings, your contribution, this finance is alchemized to allow these teachings to be more fully present on planet Earth to all those who hunger and thirst for them right now. I know that these teachings are right now being more available to individuals collectively around planet Earth. I know that your gifts, your offerings are doing so much to allow this music ministry to continue to thrive and expand. Our technology ministry to also continue to expand. Our staff who works so around the clock for you, to allow the staff to be resourced. This is what your offerings are doing. For youth and family in every area of Agape, all the ministries, all the practitioners, all the staff, all the volunteers, and you right where you are receiving these teachings, we are grateful. It is because of you. Agape is subsidized not by anything else besides your donations. How amazing is it to be part of a beloved community that exists out of the generosity of our beloved community. So we thank you. We are grateful for you. We know that these contributions are exponentially multiplying right now. I see it, I know it, I feel it, I experience it, and I am deeply grateful for each one of you and for this law of circulation. How grateful I am, and so it is. Amen. Amen. So we're going to have our closing song, and then I'm going to invite Reverend Jason to give us our closing benediction.
Jason.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, Jason. Let's all stand for blessed always.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Blessed always.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. So with our hands held open and our hearts open wide, we avail ourselves to that which we received for us today. How grateful I am for the word that flowed through me, for the songs that nurtured my heart, for the announcements and the pronouncements of a community that is doing such great work in the world. I'm grateful to know that we are not limited by the lies or by the tyrants, but there is a great joy and there's a great ecstasy and there's a great passion, there's a great beauty that is the reality of our existence. I'm grateful even now to bring into our awareness, into this community, The Reverend Michael Torphy and his entire family, as Reverend Michael Torphy has released his mother to the other side of the veil. We stand with him, his daughter Kristen and Valerie, as they anchor the awareness of life eternal. How good it is to know that even still, we move through the highs and the lows, the waves of this journey, and we do it with our joy, with our love, with this beauty, and we never, ever accept a limited idea about ourselves, about our lives, about our world. It is so. Amen. Thank you.
Great is the mercy in me, God's loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercy I see day after day. I'll be to love that's providing for me. Great is the mercy in me. Great is God's grace. Forever loving I see. Your loving kindness, love you have for me. God, in your mercy, I see. God is the grace. The mercy in me. Your loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercies I see day after day. Great is the mercy in me.
Thank you, Andrea.
Your loving kindness in me, sweet tender mercies I see day after day. Forever faithful I'll be to love that's providing for me. Great is the mercy in me. Great is God's grace. Thank you. We love you, Agape. Thank you, Tertullian Thomas.
Thank you.
Tia Jambati, Mijan Owens, the beautiful Ben Dowling on piano today, John Hart on bass, Josh Sclair, guitar, Curtis Bird on drums. Yes. Thank you. Sound, light, Paul Bielenberg, Ted Blaisdell, key on sound. Thank you, everyone. I'm Mary Ann Lewis. Thank you, Tanya. We love you, Agape. Have a beautiful week.